Let's get right into it. It is game 2, Celtics versus Heat. Obviously, we know what happened in game 1. Miami came from behind to beat Boston. That big-time block from Bam Adebayo, I feel like was the play of the game. Probably one of the 3 to 4 best plays in the postseason. It's up there. It's Bam's block. It's Luka Doncic's game-winning three-pointer. It's definitely OG Anunoby's three-pointer to beat the Celtics last round. Those are probably my those are my 3 best plays. And maybe like one of LeBron's blocks on Russ. But even that one I say is kind of less tier because that wasn't for a game. Bam's block was a defensive play that actually sealed a game for his Miami Heat squad. Let's get right into game 2, Celtics Heat Eastern Conference Finals. As you can see, I'm rocking my Lakers mask. I want to be clear with you guys, though. As I rock this Lakers mask, Laker Nation, man, if we get Miami in that next round in the NBA Finals, if we're able to get past the Nuggets, please don't think it's a cakewalk. This team is for real. As Marcus Smart drills the 2, let me get my box score pulled up here. Taliaferro's been great so far for this Miami Heat squad. They got some young white guys that play ball, man. I love it. They destroying any narrative or stereotype of white guys because these dudes not only shoot threes, they put the ball on the ground. Duncan Robinson had 4 3-pointers in the first quarter. Something different in that Miami water, man. Something different in that water down there at South Beach. Love it. As Tatum goes and gets a bucket, Marcus Smart. Oh, no, he didn't. He has been, to me, the second best Celtic in the playoffs. I'd say Tatum has been 1, and I'd say Smart has been 2, consistently. Nice pass from Wanamaker inside the Enes Kanter for the Deuce. Celtics up 5. Tatum misses. Oh my goodness, man. Taliaferro using that rim to his advantage. How many Tyler have in this one? Off the bench, 11 points. Enes Kanter with the Deuce. Kanter had 9 in this one. Not getting a lot of action. Very disappointing. A big disappointment is Enes Kanter, man. You know what it is? People ask me like, yo, why does Enes Kanter not play more for the Celtics? Sometimes you see them struggle offensively. They go over ISO with Kemba and Tatum a lot down the stretch. And people are like, yo, you could get a bucket easily out of Kanter who could, literally post you up and get you one. He can't move his feet on defense. If you put Enes Kanter in, Jimmy Butler, even Taliaferro, or even Goran Dragic, these guys are going to go to work in that pick and roll with Kanter. He can't move his feet. Celtics up 10 right now. Second quarter, 8 minutes to go. Look at Goran Dragic. But yeah, you can't play Enes Kanter. That's like, but the thing is, Boston knew that when they signed him. They're rolling with Daniel Tice consistently over Enes Kanter. He has been a big disappointment. One of the worst signings of last year. You can't play him. Look how good he is offensively and one there, but you can't play him. Terrible signing. The Celtics gonna pay for that one because you could use that money and go out and get you a big that could defend, but maybe he's not as skilled as Enes is offensively. You can go out and get you a serviceable big. They could probably, if they wanted to, they could probably go sign Montrezl Harrell with that money, maybe. As Kemba with a beautiful pass with the Marcus Smart, and I do want to give Kemba some credit too. Kemba was a lot better in this game. He had 19 points in game 1 on 19 shots. So that's not good. You don't want your point guard getting up 19 shots to only get you 19 points. And he's, not doing a great job of getting other guys involved. This one, he had 14 points in the first half. So a lot better production from Kemba. Overall in the game, Kemba gave you 23. So a lot better for Kemba. His best game in a while. As Jimmy Butler goes and gets a bucket. But it's a 15-point game. Boston controlling the first half. Moving this thing at their pace. Look at this. Beautiful move from Brown. Look like he might have got away with a travel. He froze Crowder. 17-point game here in the bubble in Orlando. Miami looking like they're about to lose game 2. And this series will be tied at 1. But a little bucket like this right before the half from Jimmy Buckets. Get a little momentum. Come out ready to go in the third quarter And that's exactly what the Heat did. Y'all, look at this. As we enjoy this third quarter, Bam's going to go get one. 37-17 run from Miami in the third quarter, outscoring the Celtics by exactly 20. This is not a good quarter from Boston. This is what cost them the game. They're not bad in the fourth, but this third quarter, atrocious. Goran Dragic for 3. They sleeping on Dragic, man. They not respecting him the way he needs to be respected. These shooters, look at that. Look at that, man. They need a big. Because what's happening is these Celtics are pressing up. As Bam gets a bucket, these Celtics are pressing up. And these Heat shooters are either getting to the rim, and the moment that the Celtics shooters don't press up, obviously the Heat are knocking down shots. You need some serviceable bigs, man. Daniel Tice is doing a decent job, but I mean, there's only so much he can do. As Crowder goes 4-point plays, it's a 6-point game here now. Celtics were up 17 as Bam makes it a 4-point game. Like the Heat, I know they're explosive and I know they play great team ball, but Boston's got to go. Look at that from Enes Kanter. What is that? Well, hold on real quick. Look at this defense from Enes, y'all. As Bam gets a bucket, okay, that's one thing. But look at Enes Kanter on this play. Look at his feet. Look at him. He's in no man's land. Look at him. What are you doing, Enes? And then just swipes at Bam as he's clearly about to make the. Let's watch that one more time. Let's watch that one more time. Just out of position. Just not. Bam had a great third quarter. How many Bam have? Bam had 21 and 10 for the game. Another good game for him. But I want y'all to look at Enes Kanter not move his feet one more time. This is why he can't play. And I did not want to make this an entire video about Enes Kanter, but it is important that you understand why this center that you went out and signed in free agency is not playing. Watch him. Look at him. Trail the possession. Look at him. Out of position. Can't even find a man. Didn't go to Crowder, which led Kemba out of his position because he had to go leak out to Crowder, who was going to knock down another 3. He had just made a 4-point play. And Crowder then you get it inside the Bam, and Kanter with a useless swipe. You go and 1 for Bam. He's just out of position on defense, and he can't play. Brad Stevens can't play him. He went up 1. Kemba drills that 2 to take the Celtics back up a point. Look at him, out of position. Enes Kanter just out. Come on, man. He is killing them on defense right now. Out of position. They had to get him out of the game. How many minutes Daniel Tice play? You have to, like, jeez, man. He's got to be better defensively than that. Look at my, oh my goodness, Olynyk off glass. Wow. So it's a 5-point game, about to be 7. As Dragic goes lay in here, terrible quarter for Boston. Move on to the fourth. Can the Celtics now get back into this one mentally? As Crowder drills another 3, he's having the postseason of his life. 4 more buckets for him, 3 3-pointers for him in this one. Look at Jaylen Brown, nice move. Let's read out some stats here. Brown gives you 21 points. Tatum gives you 21 points. Grant Williams is another one, man. It's tough to play these guys. They're out of position. I love Grant. We went to school together as Kemba drills a tough 3. But the footwork, man, for these bigs for Boston, not good. Speaking of Kemba, one thing that I've noticed with Boston as Jaylen Brown, just levitates in the sky. One thing I'm noticing with Boston is they don't trust Kemba. And that's becoming a problem. I think Tatum and Brown, I think their leader is Marcus Smart. And you can see how, the personalities are much different. Kemba's a better player, but I think the respect is for Marcus as Kemba leads a big run. Celtics up 5. They're looking good down the stretch right now. Can Miami respond? Like, you look at Miami, you clearly know their leader as Jimmy Butler makes this unbelievable play. Look at that, behind the back to save it, and then you get it back to him. Yes, sir. It's a 1-point game. I don't think Boston trusts Kemba all the way, man. And maybe that's, like, you can look at it like a relationship, right? You had Kyrie, who you trusted him, and then he kind of stained you. And now you're scared to trust a guy who's a really good guy and probably deserves your trust. As Dragic drills this three, the Heat go back up 5. Wow, back and forth game. 5-point game. Do the Celtics have anything left? Look at this play from Butler. Oh my God. Beautiful. Oh man, froze Kemba. Wow, Jimmy Butler, what you give me in this one? 14 points, but a big 14. 4 rebounds, 3 assists. Brown drills the 3. Okay, so 4-point game, minute 17 left. How are the Celtics losing this game? Dragic. Dragic is burying them. Wow. Celtics about to be down 0-2. Jaylen Brown, you got one more in you? Oh. So why does Brown not get this late shot, right? Oh, he does get it. So you give it to Brown one more time with 15 seconds, and he misses. I mean, that guy had just made 2 threes. I'm comfortable with the look. You got a good look to tie the game up. He misses, and you got to play the foul game. Put Butler on the line. You know he money from the line. 5-point game, and that's it. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. Miami Heat, 106-101, victors. They're up 2 games to zip. Boston's got to win 4 out of 5. That is a tough challenge for a team that's young. Reportedly after the game, there was some emotions from Marcus Smart. A couple of reporters said you could hear Marcus Smart yelling at some of his teammates. Apparently, you could hear a chair being thrown, not at someone, but just being thrown, generally speaking, out of frustration. Also, reportedly, Brad Stevens, the head coach of Boston, called a late meeting to get Marcus Smart and Jaylen Brown. Apparently, they got into it. You had to get them back on the same page. And I'm with all that, right? I'm not one of those guys who don't like confrontation. I think confrontation is good. I like when people tell me what's on their mind and go behind your back and do it and not play your game right because you got something on your chest. So I salute Marcus Smart for stepping to his teammates and calling them out on things that they could be better at, because you ain't going to find someone that plays harder than Marcus. So you know he gives it 100%. So I like what he did by calling out some of those teammates. That's what you want Kemba Walker to do, you know, in that situation. He's your all-star. But I salute Marcus Smart for doing that. And I think it will help them in Game 3. Yo, look on the other side. Look in the locker room over there with the Heat. They got a guy, Jimmy Butler, who I was just watching this interview with Goran Dragic and Woj. Dragic said, look, I don't understand how, and I'm summarizing here. He was like, I don't understand how Jimmy Butler got a bad rep in Chicago or Minnesota or in Philly. We love what he brings to the table down here. They're like, yo, no, if you mess up, I like that Jimmy Butler's going to not only call us out on our mess, but when he messes up, he's not above criticism, right? I love Jimmy Butler, and obviously those Heat teammates love him. That's why they're 2 games away from going to the NBA Finals for the first time since 2014. So, hey, man, I think that Heat locker room is, I think Eric Spoelstra, Pat Riley from the top on down, I think they're responding to the leadership that Jimmy Butler is doing. That type of leader is definitely somebody that the Heat want around there. He's calling these guys out. He's making Tyler Hero better. He's making Duncan Robinson better. He's making Bam Adebayo better. He's getting the best out of Goran Dragic. We ain't seen Dragic play this type of consistent ball at this level ever. He's getting the most out of these guys who we've seen crumble. Look at Jay Crowder. Look at the confidence that Crowder's playing with. I'm looking at Crowder in the middle of that game. He is loving every bit of playing with Jimmy Butler right now. And by the way, a couple years ago, the best player in the game, LeBron James, Jay Crowder, was with him in Cleveland before he got traded to Utah. Crowder was not having fun. Look at it. Go look at some of that film from a couple years ago, 2018. Look at the facial expressions from Crowder then versus the happiness that he's playing with right now in the postseason with Butler. He is happy playing ball the right way, and you got to give that credit to Jimmy Butler as he leads his Miami Heat squad to a 2-0 series lead over the Boston Celtics. I'm out.